All right, it is time for our full convention breakdown of the 34th Biennial Pope and Young Convention. Me and Mr. Justin Spring, our executive director, we're going to give you a full, complete breakdown of the convention starting on Wednesday morning all the way through Saturday night. Some of our favorite events, workshops, seminars, some of our favorite luncheons, and then we give you a full breakdown of all of our live auctions that you can also bid on online. So if you're listening and you're like, well, I can't even make it to the convention, you can bid online, and we give you a full breakdown of some of our favorite hunt items with some of our favorite outfitters. We have some potential hunts for some new potential world records. You have a high chance of killing a new world record. So stay tuned. Listen to all of those. We also, talk about how the money from these auctions benefit conservation, how we're trying new things to really push money into conservation because of these auctions. I will say this. Justin was experiencing some internet issues, so we cut the video feed for this podcast. So if you're watching somewhere, there won't be any video feed of us talking. But if you're listening somewhere, no big deal. Everything will work as normal. Now, just like last convention, if you were there, if you listened to the last convention's complete breakdown, about halfway through the podcast, I give you a phrase. And if you come and tell me that phrase at the convention, I have a free gift for you of monetary value. So listen to the podcast, find out what that code saying is. Come to me at the convention and just tell it to me, and I've got a free gift for you at the convention. Guys, I'm excited to see you there. It's going to be fun. This is when I get together with all my bow hunting family from all across North America, have a good time, celebrate bow hunting, raise some money for conservation, bid on a couple new hunts, go to some cool workshops. It is a really cool event. So if you're anywhere near the Arizona area, make sure and listen to this and hear about some of the things that you can jump in for just during the day. Come over for a day, stay all week, whatever you want. But it's going to be a really fun convention. And if you can't make it, we also have details about where you can follow along for some live updates as far as, our new Hall of Fame inductees, our new world records that we're going to be announcing, our live auctions where you can go to get information on all of those things. It's just a complete breakdown on all things Pope and Young Convention, Glendale, Arizona, April 9th through the 12th. Going to be a fun one. Stay right here as me and Justin give you a complete breakdown.
For the true sportsman, it's more than a pastime. It's a way of life. Embrace the lifestyle of hunting, fishing, and the thrill of the wild. Live the life. Be typical.
If you are a traditional archer, then you are probably familiar with Three Rivers Archery. If you are an aspiring traditional archer, you've probably heard of Three Rivers Archery. And if you are even curious about traditional archery or hope to do it one day, you need to become familiar with Three Rivers Archery. Why? Because Three Rivers Archery is a wealth of knowledge on all things traditional archery. You can call those guys up, whether you're going to buy from them or not, and ask them any question under the sun, and they'll be able to help you. From spining of arrows to weights of broadheads to string links to AMO links, any question in between, tuning a bow, they are there to help you. They also sell everything you could ever dream of needing when being a traditional archer, from bows and arrows, broadheads, tabs, gloves, strings, stringers, cases, display racks. If it has to do with traditional archery, Three Rivers has it, and they know about the product. So you can call them and ask them any kind of question, and they're there to help you. They are the single largest distributor of all things traditional archery. They offer same-day shipping. They are phenomenal. Guys, if you are a traditional archer or you've ever even wanted to look in traditional archery, Three Rivers Archery is your place to go for all things traditional archery. All right, our Pope and Young 34th Biennial Convention breakdown. We are going to talk, Justin Spring and I, we're going to give you a full rundown of the 34th Biennial Pope and Young Convention. So if you're gearing up to head to the convention, maybe you're listening to this on your drive or on the plane ride, we just want to give you a full breakdown. That way, as you come, you can prepare as to what seminars you want to make sure and hit. Maybe make a list of auction items you want to bid on. We're going to go through some of our favorite auction items, some of our favorite hunts on the live auction, some of our favorite seminars, and just kind of give you a full breakdown. just like last convention, about halfway through, I'll give you some sort of code word or code saying. And if you come to me at any point in the convention and tell us that you've listened to this, we've got a free gift for you. So, Justin, man, it is shaping up to be an exciting convention. I'm excited to get there. It's going to be a fun one. We've been putting in a ton of work, and I was telling you, I'm just kind of excited to sit down and talk about it, you know?
Yeah, no, man, it's all looking positive. The outfitters we've got, the donations for the hunts have been amazing. The exhibitors, the vendors that are going to be there, we should have a pretty exciting vendor area. It's all coming together, It's exciting to see it kind of come to fruition, after the last 6-8 months of working on it.
We've got some things on the live auction too that I think are really just going to shock people. Some things that Pope and Young has really stepped up and tried to make the live auction bigger and better. Offer some bigger hunts, some governor tags, and really just really move the needle for conservation as far as the generated funds from our live auction. So I'm excited to jump into some of those items. But before we do, let's just go over like a schedule recap. Of what to expect when you get there. You want to give them a breakdown on Wednesday, probably the day that we are most excited about, probably.
Yeah, no, I mean, Wednesday, that's our inaugural cooking contest, our big game, cooking throwdown. We've got a handful of teams. We're still looking for a few more. So if you're in that area, man, sign up. And that's going all day. The cooks can, they could use a full 8 hours if they want to. They could hang out all day and cook in an hour, whatever they want to do. But, that's a new thing for us this time, and we're pretty excited about that. There's a couple seminars on that day. I know Gene Hopkins is doing a how we got here thing, kind of a history overview, which, his knowledge of the history of archery and then the progression and all the players involved is amazing. And so, all kinds of good things on Wednesday. What are you thinking, Dylan? What's your most exciting thing coming up on Wednesday?
Well, me, dude, I can't cook. I can make frozen waffles really well, and that's about it. But I love to eat. And so I'm excited to just kind of hang out. And that's the beauty of this. If you're not competing, you get to come and just try a bunch of good food, hang out with a bunch of good people. We're going to have some silent auctions going throughout that time, some cooking friendly silent auction items, some cast irons and some seasoning kits, cookbooks. We even have some packages from meat. So if you like to process your own meat, it's going to be a cool silent auction. But I'm excited to just hang out and try food. Now, like you said, I would encourage everybody, if you like to cook, I would definitely come. Don't be intimidated. There's several teams that we know of that they just like to cook, man. They're not professional chefs, but they're passionate about wild game meat, and it's going to be a fun time. Now, the price of entry to compete covers, you get a brand new grill, a cooking system from Camp Chef. So, and the price of that cooking system is worth more than the entry fee. So it's worth it just to enter. I mean, even if you're going to throw down something simple and, I'm not sure that something simple won't win either. I mean, there's beauty and simplicity when it comes to cooking. So something simple might win, but you're also going to get a brand new cooking system from Camp Chef. So I would highly encourage you to join. One of the workshops that's happening on Wednesday that I'm excited about is our tree stand safety. It's going to be, going throughout the week, but it does kick off on Wednesday. And that's something we're passionate about, creating awareness around tree stand safety, because as we learned this year, even some of the most dedicated bad at the bone bow hunters, sometimes take a fall, even when they're trying to take all the steps necessary. And so we kind of built that out. And I'm excited about it. We have some free gifts, some giveaways just for coming, some safety harnesses that we're going to be giving away for people that are in attendance at those workshops. And so I'm excited for that workshop, man. I think it's something that needs to be talked about more. And, we kind of talk a lot about it at beginner stages, but then, a lot of people just assume, well, you've bow hunted your entire life, these things. Well, again, mistakes happen and things happen even when you're trying to do everything right. And so we put this together and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And then, once we're done with the seminars and the cook-off, we got our welcome back reception, Dylan. Maven stepped up as a sponsor for that. It's going to be, I believe, a $40 bottomless pint glass, and just kind of hang out, talk about the day's activities, and, get ready for the week to come. So,
yeah, which is always a good time, man, because, I feel like Pope and Young, we're a family. And one thing that I really respect about Pope and Young is everybody that comes that's new, they immediately feel like they're part of the family. Nobody comes and says, yeah, I just didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel welcome. If you're a bow hunter, you're a part of this family. And so that welcome back reception is just always like seeing your family, man. It's been 2 years since I've seen a lot of these guys. And so, like you said, we just get to hang out and have fun and just celebrate that we're all back together again. So I always love the welcome back reception. It's always just a good time to see your friends and hang out and catch up with some people you haven't seen in a couple years.
Yeah.
So the highlight for Thursday, moving into Thursday, is when everything kind of kicks off. That's our legacy day. And that's when everything opens. So we've got, our measure breakfast starts that morning. So if you're a measure, make sure and be there for that breakfast, 8 a.m. Again, just a good time to hang out with all your measure buddies, catch up with those guys. The measure breakfast is going to be fun. Registration also opens at 8 a.m. So you can show up and get registered at 8 a.m. And then the highlight of the show every year is that big game exhibit. That opens up at 8 a.m. So come and see the largest display of archery killed animals in North America. We've got I don't even know what it's up to now. What's it up to?
I mean, we have over
200, right?
Over 200 animals on display.
And when we say 200 animals, these are 200 of the largest killed animals. These aren't, these aren't small animals. These are the biggest 200 that we could possibly gather. And so it is something to be seen for sure. And it's the highlight of the show every year.
Yeah, the other thing we got going this time, Dylan, on that Thursday, especially if you haven't been to a convention before, we actually have a first-time attendee kickoff where you get the first hour that the exhibitors are open. You guys get to go in there first, meet them. Our corporate sponsors will be in there. Kind of like Dylan said, the big reason we do this, just so everybody feels welcome. So, the first-time attendees from 11 to noon, the board will be in there, the staff will be in there, all of our corporate partners, our outfitters, and then we'd welcome you to come in and meet everybody and just, kind of dive in with both feet. You're welcome to be there. We'd love to have you. And so make sure you have that teed up as well.
Yeah, it is. That's actually something I was telling our buddy Kip. This will be his first convention. I was telling him, like, dude, you want to make sure and be there. Cause again, like you said, you're joining this family. You're part of the family now. There is no, oh, this is only your first convention. I've been here for every single one of them. There's none of that kind of like spirit of competitiveness. Like, you're joining the family. And so this is just a great way to meet some of your bow hunting legends. It's a great way to, like Justin said, meet all the staff, meet our partners, meet our sponsors, start talking to our outfitters. It's just a really, really fun time. But before that opens, or at the same time, 9 a.m., I should say, the field judging championship opens, which is just, again, a really fun time. I am terrible at field judging, but I like to do it just to throw my hat in the ring. It's fun. For some reason, they never accept my answer of big enough. And I'm like, well, I'm 100% right. I mean, that's big enough, right?
Yeah. Well,
they tell me I got to put a number.
It's okay, Dylan. Eventually they'll shoot a big animal.
Yeah. They tell me I got to put a number. And I'm like, but if I just put big enough, I'm right every single time. So
yeah, why
not just do what's right, But no, it is a fun time. Do we know what species are going to be on the field judging yet?
I do not. The board member that's in charge of that keeps that pretty tight to his chest. There's a few of the staff and board that also compete, and we want to keep it as level as we can for everybody. So Dallas doesn't release that until you show up and he puts them up. That's the first time you're going to know what they are and where they came from.
Yeah, and that's what's cool, man. Is there's different species, they'll be pulled from all different 29. Hopefully we have, yeah, there'll be from all 29, and you get to just take a stab at them. And there's sometimes there's animals that I've never seen in the field before that are on there, and so it's just a fun time. Now there are some guys who are just like, how did you get within a 16th inch of that? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, and they'll vary in size too. That's where I always had a problem before I came over, is I'd always compete. But man, I was real good with my previous job at the BNC minimums and up. I was pretty close, but anything below that, you never know what you're going to get. It may be a Boone and Crockett level animal. It may be one that's right at Pope and Young minimum. It may not even make Pope and Young minimum. So there's a lot of surprise to it, and it's a pretty cool opportunity to try your hand at it, and kind of think about what does make up a score.
And these are, just so everybody knows, these are unscored animals, so there is no cheating. There is no what it was in the book, so that's why you got it. These are unscored, have not been entered before, and so there is no cheating or anything of that sort. So it's just a fair playing field for everybody to kind of have fun. We also have a workshop that day for cooking wild game with Michael Penley. He's the food editor for Real Tree. He's one of our celebrity judges for the showdown. He's going to do a seminar. He's going to do it twice, but the first one is on that Thursday morning. So if you really want to learn how to elevate your wild game, maybe you competed on Wednesday and you lost because your food sucked. You can come to this and get better for next year. So or you're just like me and you need to learn how to make food not taste horrible. Either way, it'll be a fun seminar. Michael's a phenomenal dude. I told him I wanted to do squirrel at the convention. He said no, because it's a big game convention, but I tried. So it'll be fun. That workshop will be cool. And then our vendor area opens, so you get to come in and see our vendors. That opens at noon. We have some incredible outfitters that you can, talk to. And, if you're looking to book your next hunt, these guys are going to help you out. I would encourage you, most of the vendors there, if not all of the vendors there, have a hunt on the auction. So if you talk to them and you think, man, yeah, I really want to hunt with you, see if you can get it on the auction. Place your bid on the auction first. If you don't win it, then you can go talk to them about, booking a hunt with them. But, if you find a vendor and or an outfitter in the vendor area and really, want to go hunt with those people, make sure and check out the live auctions. And we're going to jump into those because we have some really exciting live auctions. But that opens at noon. So that'll be a fun time. That's, again, right after that first time attendee kickoff. So the first time attendees will already be in there checking out everything that's going on. And then we have a fun day, of just seminars, how to choose an outfitter, Western hunting with South Cox. South is a phenomenal dude. Of course, if you shot his bows, he knows how to make bows. He's going to talk about Western hunting. We got Go Big or Go Home with Alan Bolin, which is pretty much what Alan does. Guys like Alan make me mad, because they seem to always go big. And it's like, how do you continue to just kill mega giants? And that's what he's going to talk about, that mentality of how to pin down a giant, how to kill it. Then you've got cold weather mountain hunting with John Barclow from Sitka. That was a very, very well received seminar from last convention. We got requested for him to come back again. And then we've got taking your measuring to the next level with our very own Tim Rzuski. So that's going to be a fun time. And then at 5, we have our cocktail hour. At 6, we have our legacy banquet. Now, before we jump on to Friday, let's talk about some of the hunts we have on that Thursday.
Dylan, you also forgot about, that deal we've got going, our measuring booth. If somebody's in the area and they come get a day pass.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That opens Thursday as well. And, you bring it, you come for the day pass, you get to check out the convention. And as an incentive, that first animal that you bring in that hasn't been scored, if it makes it, we will waive that entry fee for you for coming to the convention and saying hi and bringing it down.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a lot of those comments about like, man, I've been looking for a measure. I need to find a measure. Well, this is your place to find a measure. So if you're in the area, come on over, get your trophy measured. it's always cool when you get a trophy measured at a place like this, because everybody is just around, celebrating your kill, celebrating, maybe it's your first time in the book and everybody's celebrating with you. And it's just a really fun time. It takes that whole getting it measured in a garage to a whole new level when there's a bunch of guys around celebrating, your animal in the book. So, definitely, I did forget to mention that'll be in the vendor area. I will also, I'm excited, man. This is the first time I've ever set up a quote unquote booth in the vendor area. I won't be around to work it. I'll be working the convention, but I will have an area set up there. So all of my typical sportsman apparel, you can go by there. I'm going to have some show specials. You can scan a QR code and order it right there. I will be in the booth doing some podcasts, which I'm excited about because we do have quite a few new world records that are going to be announced at the convention. So I'm going to have some of those new world record holders on, some just legendary bow hunters from around the convention. We're going to be doing several podcasts in that area. Now, I will say this. We've also brought in some other podcasters. So make sure and stay tuned. We'll be covering that, where you can listen to those and get information about what's going on at the convention. But we'll have several podcasters putting out, some podcasts covering the convention. So, and again, I would just make sure and follow along with our social media. If you can't be there, we actually are going to make a cognizant effort this year to do more kind of real-time stuff. That way you can see what's going on. You can follow along with some of the seminars, some of the announcements, some of the things that are happening at convention. So go to Instagram, Facebook, Pope and Young, and we'll be doing kind of a live update as far as what's going on at the convention, and where you can hear, those podcasts that are going out and, hear the stories of the new world records, hear the stories of the conservation award winners and the new Hall of Fame inductees and all of those sort of things. So again, make sure and just go follow along during the convention there. At 5:00, we have the cocktail hour, 6:00, the legacy banquet. And Thursday night is something that a lot of times the auction doesn't get a lot of love, but we have so many big hunt items that there's a great auction even on Thursday. These aren't throwaway hunts by any means. We have some great hunts. We've got a bear hunt with Antler Canyon. We've got Argentina dove hunt with Norte Hunters. Which have you ever done? You've never dove hunted Argentina, have you?
No, I've not. I mean, it's on the list, but my falls always seem to get away with me with as much as we have to chase in North America. So I've never made the trek down there.
Yeah. The only reason I ask is because I know that these Argentina dove hunts are sought after, man. You will have a good time. You will shoot as absolutely many shells as your shoulder can handle, and you'll have a blast. So Argentina dove really is, top of the list for me. We have several vacation packages. We've got several African safaris with Infinito safaris. We've got a completely custom 70 quart Pope and Young cooler, which is just super, super sexy. I don't even know if I've showed it to you yet. I haven't because I don't want you to bid on it.
Well, Dylan,
that way I can win it
for the folks. I mean, that cooler, not only do you get the sweet cooler, but it's going to be full of raffle tickets.
Oh,
and so you
okay.
know, I'm not
bit.
sure what all's making it in there. You might find yourself an entry for that convention raffle, the big dog. Could be a lot of bucket tickets. Heck, you never know. It may even be something that might get you into a breakfast, or maybe in for another major drawing we're doing. And so there's going to be a little bit of surprise on that when we do that custom cooler.
Yeah, which I will note every single night. We have another custom cooler, a 20 quart cooler that we're going to be raffling every night. And those are full of prizes. So, you might get the cooler and a brand new dialed proof. You might get the cooler and, a set of optics. You might get the cooler and a free pair of boots. All of those coolers are full of cool prizes, except for one. You're going to get a dud, but, every night, we're going to be auctioning off one of those coolers, and it's going to be stuffed full of some really cool prizes. We also, one of the things I'm excited about, Jay, maybe it's time we drop this knowledge here. We have an upland hunt in Kansas for 3.
I heard
now
that's
those
a dud,
people
Dylan,
are going to be.
I was hoping you and I could just go on. I mean, yeah, we'll split that one.
Now, I was told they get to be in the presence of royalty because I was told that Justin Spring is going to be tagging along on that hunt with you. So if you win, if you bid on that hunt, or maybe you can pay more and say, I don't want Justin to come. I could see that happening too. But Justin's going to be on that. We did that hunt this year and it was just an absolute blast. Wade Skeen with Skeen Outfitters, has some really incredible habitat and, you're going to have a good time. I promise you that. And if you don't want Justin to come, we'll take a consolation prize and you can pay your way out of Justin coming. So
yeah, no, and honestly, it's some absolute amazing wild quail. I was beyond impressed with what we saw. You know, I obviously joke, and it's an amazing opportunity what those guys have offered up for us. And you know, the other thing, Dylan, we've got a couple pretty cool bows that we've got going on Thursday as well.
Yes, we do.
You know, there's these couple of these came out of the museum. You know, the first one that we're starting off with is mid 60s Kodiak Deluxe, just an absolutely gorgeous bow. And then further down, we actually have another bear bow that to me was super interesting as I was researching it. It's from the late 40s. They actually used recycled B-17 bomber aluminum in the limbs. And so this is a piece of U.S. history that also, you know, has a connection to, you know, that aircraft aluminum that was fostered between our founder and Fred Bear. He kind of brokered that deal for Fred Bear. You know, they weren't the greatest shooters, but for a piece of history, it's something to look great on anybody's mantle.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it will be. We have a 5-day Montana whitetail hunt with Western Timberline. We've got an Argentina duck hunt with Pointer. We've got a 3D package that's going to include one of the brand new X-ray targets from Delta McKenzie. We've got a 9x9 range tent from Colorado Tent, a black bear hunt with Northern Element. So again, that Thursday auction has some really, really cool stuff. So I would definitely make it over to the banquet and bid on a few of those items. Now moving into Friday. Friday is where, you know, a lot of things kick off. We have some off-site tours. So if you're looking to go out and just have fun in Phoenix, we have some off-site tours for you going on during the day. We have our regular and senior membership meeting. So if you're a regular senior member, that's at 8 a.m. Our vendor and outfitter area opens at 9 a.m. that morning, which would include that measuring booth. So that'll be open all week long. So again, if you have trophies, you can bring those in during that time. The field judging will still be going on during that day. At 11:45, we have the ladies luncheon, which is going to be exciting. We have some really cool prizes for that. We've got we actually have a lot of prizes for that for that ladies luncheon. So if you're a lady attending, we have some quilts, we have some women's camo sets, we have some cookbooks, we have a pistol, we have some Onyx memberships, we have a vacation getaway, we have some fishing trips with Miss Becca Spring. So it's going to be, again, just a really cool ladies luncheon. With a lot of really cool prizes. We kind of tried to beef that up this year and make our ladies feel special there.
You know, and Jana Waller is going to be the MC of that. She is going to be able to make it. So we're excited to have Jana there. It should be a great time for the ladies.
Absolutely. And that's something, you know, in the past I've heard, I brought my wife one year and that was kind of one of the, I don't want to say complaints, but, you know, there was just not a lot for women, and that ladies luncheon was there, but it really wasn't, you know, it wasn't as beefed up. And so we really wanted to beef this up. We wanted to bring Jana in, wanted to give you ladies some incredible prizes. We also have some incredible jewelry packages. So again, we really want you ladies to feel special. Cause well, I'll just say it, man, some of these lady bow hunters, they get it done more than the men bow hunters. So, we wanted to put this together and make it something special for you guys. So it'll be a fun event. Again, that's 11:45 on Friday. So if you're there, make sure and hit that. Now for everybody else at 11:45, we have our barbecue lunch, which is our family fun time. Just going to be a good time, man. And the barbecue is going to be good too, I heard. at 1:30, you want to talk about our youth workshop with Jack Creek
Yeah,
Preserve?
no, so that's something else that's going to be real cool. We've got Jack Creek Preserve. We're working on a deal where Pope and Young's going to, sponsor a couple of their camps. We're gonna have people there, kind of delivering the Pope and Young message, and they've got a tailor-made, youth camp where the hunters that go there, they're taught archery, and they actually leave there getting their bow hunter safety, which is a requirement in Montana to archery hunt. So in exchange, they're going to bring down some of their curriculum that they've developed for the kids, and that's taken place. And so if you've got some kids, bring them along. If you're this is a great opportunity, something new. We hope it's really well received. And, what they told us, and I've seen it at Sheep Show, they've done this same program, and the kids have a great time with it. The rough outline is they basically have the kids are all members of a herd of animals, and then they kind of go through the biologic, challenges a herd may face. And, one of the kids may end up accidentally getting hit by a car in terms of this imaginative herd thing that they do. And so they get this idea of recruitment and what wildlife faces, and really drives that conservation message home with a very hands-on activity to where they feel a part of it. Obviously, we're not actually hitting kids with cars, but the idea of this is a great way for them to see the challenges wildlife face.
Even if there's a couple thug kids in there, we won't hit them with cars, we promise. We have a couple really cool seminars taking place after that. We've got Hunting Alaska with Frank Noska, Bob Amin. We've got Hunting the West on a Budget with Dan Adler. We've got a tour taking place, the Taste of Glendale. Then we've got our bow shop reception. Then we have our Uncharted Women's event. Again, just really trying to make these women feel special. You want to talk a little bit about Uncharted Women and what they can expect there in that workshop?
This is a group that my wife was involved in. They're all over the West. They do these different trips, these different seminars, basically getting women outdoors and helping them maybe take their hunting to the next level. My wife did a couple here in Montana on wild game processing, and there was a couple gals that showed up that they'd killed their first deer actually the week before, and we're like, man, this worked out perfect. I had no clue how to cut this up. And so they've got a diverse backgrounds. They're all very experienced hunters themselves. And I'm not exactly sure what the topic of this one's going to be, but all of them I've been involved with my wife have been very informative. Everybody, comes away having a great time, and it's all very useful information.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time. And again, just a time to get with women and talk about bow hunting. So it'll be fun. Then we have a couple more seminars, Western hunting with South Cox again, stalking Wyoming mule deer with Brian Colzer. Then we have our cocktail hour, our Fred Bear Society reception. So Fred Bear Society members are joined for that reception. And again, we've kind of beefed up those auction items to give those the members of that something special. And then we have our banquet. And if you thought Thursday's auction was good, Friday's auction is unreal. We have 20 hunts, as well as 5 other items. We're going to kick that off by auctioning off a Yahi lifetime membership. And if you want to know why that's important, we're going to jump on Saturday and talk about our lifetime member breakfast and everything that you're going to receive there because you're a Yahi lifetime member. So that'll be cool.
Yeah,
we have I
was going to say that first one we're starting Friday with, Dylan, is lifetime membership number 1. So, anywhere that we're listing our Yahi Life members, this will be that top spot. And so, it's a great opportunity. If you're already a Yahi and you want to bid on this, we'll knock $1,500 off the winning bid for you. But this is for that number 1 spot to really show your commitment to Pope and Young. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that.
That'll be cool. I'm excited for item number 2. I'm going to have to bid on it because it is a youth hunt for cows, deer, or mule deer with Ward's Outfitters for 2. So that means I could take 2 of my kids on a hunt with Ward's Outfitters. They kill mega giant cows, deer, and incredible mule deer. So that's going to be a fun item for 2. We've got some South African hunts. We've got a 5-day Arizona Coues deer hunt with Antler Canyon, mule deer with AZ buck and bulls. We've got a mountain goat with Borellas. We have Texas whitetail with Barnes Keith. We have 5-day coos hunt with Diamond. We've got an antelope hunt with none other than Fred Eichler. So if you're a listener of mine, I just had Fred on about a week ago. He's an absolute riot. I can't imagine being in camp with Fred. You're going to laugh and have a good time. Just going to be a really cool hunt there in Colorado with Fred. We've got blacktail hunts with JP Guide Service. We've got some more South Africa with Infinito. We've got some bow fishing trips.
Now,
we've got
this one,
some
that bow fishing trip, Dylan. That one's intriguing to me. It's a 2-day trip, and it's a 4-hour iguana hunt with blowguns and 4 hours of Everglades bow fishing.
Now, I don't know. Listen, if you've never looked into iguana hunting, there are no limits. Those things run around like crazy. Did my son catch an iguana in Mexico on our vacation? He sure did. Did it try to bite his neck off? It sure did. They just run around like crazy, and you're going to have a blast just floating down the river, shooting iguanas with a blowgun. I've always wanted to do this. So it is very intriguing. Sounds like that might be something, and that's for 4 or 6 people. We got to double check on that number, but you get to take some buddies with you. So again, Justin, if you want to bid on that, I will definitely help raise your hand and go with you on that.
Yeah, I could see.
That's what you got.
Gage and Tucker might have a lot of fun blowgunning iguanas.
Oh crap! Oh Lord. Yeah, that would be a riot. I'll say this. The best thing that you could ever have at an auction is a buddy that's there that helps you raise your hand. Especially on these hunts for 4 or 6, or 3 people, 2 people, whatever. If you've got a buddy there who's an encourager, it really makes our auctions a lot better. I always love watching the tables where there's one guy with a card and everybody's saying, yeah, bid on it. Come on, let's do it. I'll go with you. That's the best thing you can have in an auction is encouraging buddies. I have spent a lot of time in tree stands. I spent a lot of time hanging tree stands. I spent a lot of money buying tree stands. And I know the new rave is the super lightweight, really expensive tree stands. But I just can't get behind that. If you're really wanting to deck out a farm and you need a whole bunch of tree stands, that's just not feasible for a lot of guys. And here's what I found. I have found that if it says Muddy, it's a name you can trust. From the tree stands, whether it be a hang-on, a lock-on, a climber, or a ladder stand, if it says Muddy, it's going to be a really good tree stand without breaking the bank. And I can get 4 or 5 hang-ons for the price of one of those super lightweights. Now, I know the benefit of those super lightweight portable tree stands. You can move it with you and hang it as you go. But if I just buy 4 or 5 of those really good stands for Muddy, I can have them set up where I want and just go to those stands and they're already hung up. Guys, from the trail cameras to the blinds to the tree stands, Muddy is simply a name you can trust. So whether you go into an Academy or a Dick's, Bass Pro, Cabela's, check out Muddy for your tree stands, your trail cameras, and your blinds because they simply make really good products that are affordable for everyone. Then we've got a javelina hunt with Wards. Now, are we able to announce the introduction of this yet?
Well, it's got to go to the membership for a vote. The board has voted to send it to the regular and senior membership. And so as soon as we are done with convention, that ballot will go out to our regular and senior members to decide if we are going to be adding javelina to the record books, similar to what B and C did. So we don't have an official yay or nay yet, but we will be talking about this at convention. We're actually going to have a couple of the biologists that had put this proposal together will actually be on site to answer your questions on, what's involved in javelina management, what's the reasoning that these 4, 3 managing states and the states of Mexico really promoted getting this added as a category for Boone and Crockett, which is what led Pope and Young to look at it again. So it's very informative. It's some interesting stuff. We don't have an answer yet, but it's all good discussion. And if you're a regular or senior member listening to this, make sure and vote. I mean, this is the future. So if you feel strongly one way or another, make that opinion heard.
All right, I can think of 2. What are the 3 states that have regulating populations?
So the 3 states represented was Arizona, which was Jim Heffelfinger, New Mexico, which was Nicole Tapman, who's their big game coordinator, and then Texas. And that was David Brimminger.
Okay.
Those are all members of the of Boone and Crockett and the Boone and Crockett Records Committee that put that proposal together. And then Mexico was represented by a couple of the outfitters down there that also sit on the Records Committee. Oh my gosh, the name's blanking me right now. But anyway, yeah, it was a very well put together proposal, and they made a very strong case for why, from a scientific perspective, we should be recording these, big game animals as we do everything else.
Yeah. I didn't know New Mexico. I knew Texas and I knew Arizona. We also have some sandhill cranes with AZ Buck and Bulls. Billy over there, you'll have a blast with that. We've got some board members who actually bought that hunt recently, and I know they're fired up for it. We've got probably my number one hit lister. So if you're listening and you just want to piss me off, don't bid on this. The Axis deer in Maui. I actually told my wife, I'm like, that's the one I'll be bidding on because I want to take you to Maui. You can sit on the beach. I can go hunt. Axis has always been top of my list. They're gorgeous animals. They're from what I understand, really fun to hunt. So Axis and Maui with JP Guide Service is going to be high on my list. We have a 14x17 wall tent from Colorado tent company. We have a 3-day youth sandhill crane, dove, and quail hunt with wards. I really like how many items we have for the youth on Friday night. It's going to be exciting to say the least.
Yeah, no, we'll see how my son does. We're flying in grandma and grandpa, and he's pretty good at getting grandpa to raise his hand. So we'll see how he does Friday night.
Oh, I might have to talk to Papa Spring too. Maybe he'll help me on Axis. And then we have an exciting trip. This is something that I would say I did last year and just had an absolute incredible experience. We have a stay at Justin and Becca's house in Montana. That's a 3-day, 4-night hosted Western Montana getaway for 2 or 3 people. You're going to taste some incredible food. I've never been on a, backcountry style hunt and gained weight. But Becca and Justin made sure of that.
No,
you're going to eat like a king.
I mean, on that, we've got all the boats, we've got all the fly gear, everything for Western Montana you could want. Obviously, we're not guiding that, but we are hosting it. So, we can set you up with what you need. We'll take you, if you want to take the boat out, we'll shuttle. We can run the shuttle for you on the floats. There's a pretty good section of river if you're familiar with the drift boat that, it's where I took everybody to teach them how to row. And literally the only challenge is don't hit the bridge. And my favorite story, we're coming up on a bridge. And my buddy's like, well, what's the trick? I was like, there's no trick. Just don't hit the bridge. That's the only challenge on this stretch.
That's funny. Yeah, you'll have a fun time. Then we have a Montana spring bear hunt with Jack Creek Preserve, some more Argentina dove hunts. We've got the custom Pope and Young convention gun. So if you were there last year, it was a pistol. This year it's a lever action Henry, gonna be super sexy, custom hand engraved by Brian Strange out of Powder and String Outfitters. Then we have a fishing on Lake Michigan with Ken Reimer. We've got an Alberta moose hunt with Rogue Outfitters, and then we've got a fishing, crabbing, and shrimping trip for up to 3 ladies, co-hosted with Justin and Becca. So that's going to be fun as well. That's with Adventure Alaska Southeast. That's going to be another fun trip. Now, for your convention pleasure, if you come to me and share the term "keep the dusty side up," I will give you a free gift at convention. It'll have monetary value. So just come to me and mention that. Now, I do want to share that story real quick. I was on have you heard this story yet, Jay?
I'm not sure. We could go ahead and start.
So here's what I've come to learn. Keep the dusty side up can be used as a term of endearment. It can be used as a term of encouragement. It can be a way you cuss somebody out. We don't really know. I was on a hunt in Idaho, and we had been in the backcountry for several days, and we were hungry and needed, a hot meal. And so one of my buddies said, "Well, there's a little mountain town up here. You can grab a burger. It's a town of 10 people, Atlanta, Idaho. Shout out to Atlanta. I don't think they have Wi-Fi, so nobody's listening to this. I can promise you that. 10 people, but there was a little bar, little burger joint, and so we ate and refueled our batteries a little bit and just sat and hung out. Well, as we were leaving, the only way I can say this is just a Merle Haggard looking thug on the front porch. I mean, old man, 2 p.m., drunk as a skunk, just loving life. And we talked to him for a while. And as we left, he gave us this term of encouragement for us to keep the dusty side up. I had no idea what it meant. I went to everybody in Idaho. As we left the hunt, we stopped in, at different restaurants, different stores. I asked everybody, what does this mean? And the only thing I could come to the conclusion is that it meant I met a crazy old man. But that quickly became, for years, one of my favorite terms. I would be walking, through the store, and I would just hear somebody yell, "Keep the dusty side up," because I told this story and shared this story. So I still don't know what it means. It can mean have a good time, stay safe. It can mean screw you, dude. But anyways, just come to me at any point in the convention and say, "Keep the dusty side up," and I'll have a free gift for you. Now, Saturday is where not only does the auctions get even bigger and better, but we still have a very exciting day throughout Saturday. We have, starting off at 7:45, we have our lifetime member breakfast. Walk me through how all that's going to work with the lifetime members, with the Yahi members, with the raffles, auctions, everything we have going on there.
So with this lifetime breakfast, this is the first time we've done it. And so we've got, somewhere between 600 and 700 lifetime members. If you are a lifetime member and you are registered for that lifetime breakfast, one of our lifetime members in that room is going to walk out of there with a Alaska brown bear archery hunt. If you're a new lifetime member, we're going to cover the breakfast for you. Or if you decided to step up to our Yahi lifetime member level, the Yahi shows the support of Pope and Young. It's how you take your lifetime membership to the next level. If you've stepped up to that Yahi level, not only will you get a free breakfast, you actually get 2 additional tickets into that hunt. And those 3 tickets that you get as a Yahi, that'll be the same going forward. This lifetime breakfast is something we're going to do every single convention. We're going to do our best for the 2 years building up to make sure that this is an absolutely amazing hunt of a lifetime. The idea here is, let's be honest, there's a lot of these hunts that are out there now that the average bow hunter, you're probably not just going to be able to afford. And even if you can, man, you're going to feel like kind of a dirtbag spending your child's college fund on, say it's a caribou hunt, say it's a moose hunt. I mean, a lot of these are getting a real high figure now. So what this does is for the lifetime members that step up to that level, every 2 years, if you're in attendance at that breakfast, you might win the hunt of a lifetime. And so, in addition to the drawing, I mean, that's the big draw. You're welcome to come. There's going to be some auctions and some other items. If you'd like to just see the breakfast and bid on the items, you're welcome to come. There's a non-life member price. For life members, it's a discounted $50. For a general member, it's $75. Like I said, you step up to a lifetime member or Yahi, you're going to get that breakfast for free. And that's going to be an amazing opportunity and something we have going forward, both as a thank you to, our lifetimes for that level, but, also some excitement, something to do Saturday morning.
Yeah. So make sure, if you're not a lifetime member, become a lifetime member. If you are a lifetime member, become a Yahi lifetime member. Then our vendor and outfitter area opens as well as the Pope and Young measuring booth at 9 a.m. I will have my lunch break, Justin, for our Top Golf outing. I absolutely love Top Golf. I hate golf, but I love Top Golf because you can just swing for the fences and shank them every which way you want to. That'll be a fun outing. We have our tree stand safety workshop again. And then we have hunting with Tom Miranda seminar. Is he going to make it to convention?
He is. I just talked to him and he is on the mend. He's on some antibiotics, but Good. He had kind of a crazy thing with as much as he's done in places he's been, He had a run in with his cat. Loves the cat to death, but it turned into an infection. He's on the mend, but yeah, it hit him pretty hard.
Yeah, that's what I was told. Just playing with his cat, and the cat didn't even like attack him or bite it, like just a playful bite, but got infected. He was in the hospital, but glad to hear he's doing well. Glad to hear he'll be there. Then we have our cold weather mountain survival with John Barclow. Then we have bow hunting wild sheep and big bears with Brendan Burns. We have our luncheon at 11:15, and then at 1:30 we have our live auction. Now, before we jump into our live auction items, to wrap up that night at 5 o'clock, we'll have our field judging championship, national championship round and cocktail hour, followed at 6:30 by the big game awards and gala, which a lot of people, are there for. So our Saturday auctions, we really stepped it up in a big way for Saturday. Just as big as we could possibly go. You want to start off with item 1. We have Acoma Pueblo.
Yeah, so this is a pretty cool opportunity. We worked with the tribe game management down there, and they actually added this opportunity. This is a first of its kind archery only opportunity, and we're going to be targeting velvet bulls. They're doing this in late July for us. They were looking at cameras. They were looking at all their research to make sure that this would give the winner of this tag, the greatest possibility to harvest one of these bulls when they're as grown as they're going to be, but still full velvet. This actually takes place right before their governor's tag that they sold at Western. So this is the first opportunity for a non-tribal member to be out there on the ground and hunting bulls. And it's a late July hunt in New Mexico. It's going to be hot. You're going to be sitting water, but it should give you the opportunity. And, Scott's the one that runs it. He's a friend of mine. He does have, scouting photos of bulls for both the typical and non-typical categories that, from as far as we can tell, will easily exceed our world record. So is it a guaranteed world record? By no means, no. The animals are still animals. You're going to have to do it. But putting yourself in a place where you know that there's a potential world record animal out there, I mean, that's about as much as you can do on your end. Then you just got to make it happen if they come in.
Yeah, which is just insane to know that you are bidding on a potential world record or the shot at a potential world record. It's going to be hard to go through all these because we have 47 incredible items. But let's just highlight a few of them. We've got some more javelina hunts, some more mule deer hunts with AZ buck and bulls, some moose hunts with savage encounters. We've got some more Argentina bird hunts.
You skipped over the turkey hunt. I'm guessing you're not a big turkey guy?
I hate turkey hunting.
So for those of you that are into the turkey hunting, this is an archery Gould's turkey hunt. For those of you, obviously, that are chasing your turkey slam, the Goulds are a pretty hard species to come by. There's some real limited opportunities in some southern states, but this is your opportunity to go to Mexico and get that Gould's turkey. Great outfitter down there. For the non-turkey hunters, we got a lot of options for you, but this, for the turkey guys that want to do it with the bow, don't miss that opportunity to go chase those Goulds in Sonora.
Yeah, that means absolutely nothing to me. And I've made a lot of turkey hunters mad. I've almost fist fought some turkey hunters because I'm like, hey, you here's my stance on it, Jay. You do understand that when you're spring turkey hunting, there's spring bears to be had. And I'm a big pig hunter. I love chasing pigs. So I'm like, why would I go hunt one bird when I can drive down to Oklahoma or Texas and shoot 47 pigs in a weekend? I'm not a big turkey hunter. So, that one does not pique my interest, but it is a phenomenal hunt. Mesquite Mountain, great outfitter, phenomenal supporter of Pope and Young. You're going to have a great hunt. If you are into turkey hunting, that's one to definitely bid on. We have one thing I'm excited about. We have a custom 1-of-1 recurve. So just like that custom gun for Pope and Young, this is a custom 1-of-1 handmade by the boys at Bear Archery. This is actually going to be made by himself, Neil Bice III, who is Fred Bear's last living student. He was on the team with Fred that created and made that made the golden latch takedown that's so incredibly famous and popular. He was on that team. And Fred taught him everything he knows. He's making us a custom one of one. No one will ever have one like it. It's going to be a special, special bow. It's going to come with a case, going to be a very, very beautiful commemorative piece. So that's something I might have to place my bid on because I just love recurves. We have some bear hunts with Arizona Game and Fish, mountain lion hunts with Diamond Outfitters, velvet moose hunt with Dueling Stone.
Dylan, we should probably talk about those Arizona Game and Fish commissioners tags that we've got. This is for the Arizona bow hunters. They're actually selling these 3 commissioners tags at our event. And this is the last opportunity anybody will ever have to buy a commissioner tag, as the commission has voted to no longer allow these to be sold. And so we've got a bear tag that's good for the entire 365 days of the year. Most all of the state is in play for you there. Javelina, same thing. We've got a statewide javelina tag. And then the big one's the bison tag. Bison are really hard to draw a tag for anywhere. This is your opportunity to buy that opportunity. And again, like I said, this is the last time that you'll be able to purchase the tag and potentially kill yourself a free-ranging buffalo. So, we really appreciate the Arizona bow hunters letting us sell these for them. 100% of these proceeds go right back to Arizona. And so this is supporting Arizona Wildlife Management. They've done a great job. There's a bunch of great bow hunting opportunities down there, and we're very happy to have this opportunity to help them raise some funds as well for their management activities.
Yeah. And that's, again, these are some things that Pope and Young is excited to be involved with. Excited to get going and feature at the convention.
And then from there, we'll jump into that dueling stone hunt that you'd mentioned, Dylan. This is another opportunity where, this is an outfitter that I've known for years. Great supporter of conservation, great guy. And I said, hey, we've got a velvet Yukon moose category, and we don't have a lot of entries in there. And so he said, well, let's see if we can't get a world record velvet moose for you. And so Jared has offered to do this moose hunt. It's going to be, this is when the moose are in velvet, they're up high up there in the Yukon. I was fortunate enough to be able to hunt up there. And these moose are up in sheep country. You're in the very top ends of these drainages. You're glassing them, and it's going to be very challenging. I mean, these moose have spent all summer in this area. They know it like the back of their hands. And, if you know anything about moose, I mean, they got some big old ears, and, a world record is going to have a set of palms on them that's going to make getting in on this bull super tough. But again, the opportunity to be pursuing a world record is something that's real hard to do. You can pretty much count on one hand, the number of archery hunts in the country where that you are in the presence of a world record, and it's just whether or not you can get it done. So another amazing opportunity that we came up with this year. I really want to see this one go well. Hopefully this is something we can do moving forward. But, for Jarrett, he's got his guides in camp. They're itching and ready to go. This is a horseback hunt. It's in some rough country. So, bring your A game, but it's a great opportunity.
Absolutely. We have some Kansas whitetail hunts, or as people from Arkansas say, we have a Kansas whitetail hunt. We have some black bear hunts with Big Time Outfitters, grizzly bear hunts with McMillan River, Sonora, Mexico Bighorn with Wards. This is when our quilts are going to be auctioned off, which are always just a beautiful showing, highlight of the show. One thing that I also would look at, Wizard Lake Outfitting. We have a 6-day whitetail hunt in Edmonton Bow Zone. There are some absolute mega giants killed here. When I say mega giants, I mean just absolute dandies. So I would definitely look at that. Wizard Lake is one of the best whitetail outfitters maybe in North America. So if you're looking to kill just an absolute stud whitetail, that would be a place to do it. dove hunts with Paco Riestra, Alberta bighorn sheep with Summit Bighorns. We have Argentina water buffalo. Man, we just have so many incredible hunts this day. It's hard to pick just a few to highlight. Big Knife, we have a moose hunt. We have a Montana elk hunt with Jack Creek. We have Cow's deer hunt with Antler Canyon. We've got a 5-day South Africa Impala ram. We've got some more guided whitetail hunts with Monster Whitetail. And then to wrap it up, we've got a 10-day Arizona archery deer hunt for 2 hunters, 2 deer each and 2 javelina each with wards. That's something that I think javelina is going to be really exciting, because if the introduction of javelina comes, you're going to be one of the first in the record book going on one of these hunts. So again, just Saturday, we have an incredible auction set up for you guys, some potential new world records, some just incredible experiences for you to look at and bid on your next hunt. So I would highly encourage you, bring some buddies that are going to be encouraging. You know what I mean, Jay?
Well, Dylan, these are all online too. Every one of these auction items we just talked about, other than I suppose the ladies' lunch. And ladies' lunch, you need to be there. But, Thursday night, Friday night, and the Saturday day auction, all these hunts are available online as well. You will keep your eye on the website. If you're on Pope and Young's mailing list, you will get a e-blast about it. If you're not, sign up for Pope and Young's mailing list. You make sure you get that. And there's some great opportunities. If you can't make it to Phoenix, we'd still love the support. And maybe there's a hunt on here that you've been looking at doing forever, and find some buddies, and you guys can sit around, maybe have a beer or two, and see if you can't buy it online.
But whatever you do, don't bid on the Maui Axis hunt. It's not going to be a good hunt. You don't want to bid on that. I'll tell you that. What's on your number one hit list? What do you got? What do I need to bid you up on a little bit? Man,
I'm not going to lie. Some of those opportunities that Wards has for youth, I've got, my son's he's shooting his bow every night. He's getting all fired up to get into it. He's passed his hunter's safety. I mean, I'm going to feel pretty excited to maybe try to get him one of those opportunities with Wards down in Arizona is where I'm looking, Dylan.
Yeah. And Wards, obviously they were one of our award-winning outfitters last year. They're phenomenal guys. You're going to have a really good experience with Wards, and they kill studs. So just a really good outfitter. A really good way to start your kids would be with Wards. I can promise you that. Or down in Florida, blowgunning iguanas. That would be another good way to start your kids. So yeah, just a really fun convention. We're super stoked. I would highly encourage you to just come hang out. I love seeing all my friends. So if you're listening to this, just know, although we're busy, we still want to chat and hang out and see you. So come find us, say hi to us. This is Justin's first convention as the head honcho. And I'm just really stoked for some of the things that he has introduced to Pope and Young that we're excited to really bring to our convention. So going to be a fun one. If you're in the Arizona area, come hang out for a day, come hang out for the entire thing, come eat some good food, bid on some hunts, bring your trophies in. We have a 3D shoot going on Thursday. So, maybe you just come get a day pass, go shoot the 3D course. It's going to be a fun, very fun convention. So guys, when it comes to optics, they can make or break your hunt. When you're sitting behind glass for hours trying to pick animals off of a hillside, you can get a lot of strain on your eyes, and it can just be a bad experience. Not too long ago, I was in the market for some new optics. Didn't really know where to start, so I called my boys over at SNS Archery. Now, they sell all the optics, so they really had no need to push me in any way whatsoever, so I knew they would give me just good information. Every single one of them told me to try Kowa. So I bought my first spotting scope from Kowa. It was a 77, and I fell in love with that scope. the glass in that scope is absolutely phenomenal. So I moved on to buy a pair of binoculars, and then I found what is my all-time favorite piece of glass ever from any company, the 55 spotter from Kowa. Now, a lot of companies make super compact, small spotters, but when they get that small, a lot of times they lose quality. And what Kowa has done with the 55 is they have produced an incredibly compact, small, lightweight spotter that still offers really, really good glass. I know guys from all over the world that swear by the 55. Every outfitter I've ever let look through it ended up buying one. It is just phenomenal glass. It's really compact, really small, really light. Guys, go check out Kowa for some of the finest Japanese glass you will ever put your hands on. Guys, thank you for listening. We will see you in Glendale, Arizona, April 9th through the 12th for the 34th Biennial Convention.